President Moon Jae-in is in Osaka this afternoon to attend the G20 Summit, which starts tomorrow. But his schedule there starts today with a summit meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Then over the weekend, Moon will host U.S. President Donald Trump in Seoul. The G20 will see some of the world's most powerful people in one place and a lot of closely watched meetings between them, as our Shin Se-min reports.
The doors to some diplomatically charged sessions open up in Japan on Thursday ahead of the two-day G20 summit as the leaders fly into the city of water, Osaka. President Moon Jae-in touched down in Japan on Thursday afternoon, where his three-day schedule will begin with a sit-down with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. Seoul's top office says President Moon will listen to the outcome of President Xi's visit to Pyongyang last week and seek a continued and productive partnership with Beijing on Korean Peninsula-related issues. Next on his schedule, a dinner with around 400 Koreans living in Japan to thank them for making Koreans proud on foreign soil. On Friday, the opening day of the premier forum for International Economic Cooperation, President Moon will speak at the first G20 session on the theme of global economy, trade, and investment.
President Moon will introduce the government's expansionary fiscal policy, including its recent proposal for a supplementary budget. He will also highlight the need for G20 members to coordinate on pending issues that affect the global economy.
Also high on the South Korean leader's agenda, the peace process on the Korean Peninsula.
President Moon will define his policy direction on the Korean Peninsula. He will highlight his push for North Korea's complete denuclearization and forging lasting peace.
President Moon will also be busy on the sidelines of the summit. He's scheduled to hold face-to-face talks with his counterparts from Russia, Canada, and Indonesia, as well as shorter discussions with the leaders of Argentina, the Netherlands, and India before returning home on Saturday. The South Korean leader is looking at a few highly charged days of diplomacy in Japan. It will culminate with a summit in Seoul with U.S. President Donald Trump this weekend, where the main agenda is reviving nuclear talks with North Korea. Shin Se-min, Arirang News, Osaka.